Another Premier League classic between Arsenal and Man United, and this time Mikel Arteta Arsenal got a win, and why not? They truly deserved it. But Erik Ten Hag's United would have won the game too if the Garnacho goal would have been allowed. But anyways, a win is a win, so let's take a look at it. Why Arsenal deserved their win against United. First we look at Arsenal game plan. So Mikel Arteta started same lineup with just two changes from the Fulham game, with absence of Thomas Partey and inclusion of Gabriel, and also Zinchenko was included too, which means he would play inverted just like the Fulham game. But this was not constant, as for the initial phases of the game, we saw Zinchenko and Rice double pivot, with Zinchenko being in this right hand side of the pivot, and sometimes he would be too deep to allow Rice to operate more up front. But United would man-mark this strategy easily. And with Arsenal 3 at the back build-up, both Rice and Zinchenko did constant rotation of their position, sometimes left, sometimes right. And why I am emphasizing this double pivot? Because as soon as it got broken, means Zinchenko was separated from Rice, Arsenal got their goal. But we will look at that goal later on. And if you look more detailed into the game, you would know why Arsenal weren't able to open up United easily, especially on that right and left wing, because of trackbacks from United wingers. Take a look at this instance. Here Saka got the ball and here it is a 2v1 situation. This was key. As soon as Saka was getting the ball, Rashford was there to help out Dalot, and Ten Hag knew Arsenal's basic strategy of overloading one side and then switching to the other, and sometimes they were caught in this overload to isolate trap too, as Arsenal either on their right hand side or in the left hand side does this to overload players and then quick switch up to the other. And if we are emphasizing on overloading, so it's not a bad time to start looking at Arsenal goal build-up. But before that, let's take a look at how changes were seen before that Arsenal first goal, because it didn't come suddenly. So here Havertz is acting as a pivot with Rice, that means it frees Zinchenko out at left wing and give him extra space on that left hand side. Now here Martinelli is tucked in, Havertz goes up front little bit and Odegaard is already at the center. And now Martinelli switches the ball to Saka, lots of space now. And Rashford is unable to cover that area. Because if you go some seconds earlier, Havertz's positioning is already taking out Rashford and forcing United to cover central areas. And similar to this strategy, we can see now Arsenal first goal. You can blame Havertz for his sloppiness in United goal, but you can praise him too for his movement. Not very much cause he is still going through poor form, but he contributed a lot in that goal. Basically Arsenal continued their last plan I told you, a 3 at the back build up. And if you look at here, basically United are in their 4-2-3-1 off the ball shape. So Zinchenko is up front and here Rice as a DM. Then here Havertz comes deep and he is extracting Casemiro. And now there is already 2v1 down there at the wing, which actually was cut out by Casemiro in these times. But here the centre back plays to Martinelli who then flicks out to Zinchenko, a 2v1 situation. And then it's all about quick link up play from Nketiah and Odegaard finish. A simple movements yet effective from whole team on that left hand side and from Havertz too. And Arsenal continued these same plans in second half too, and Havertz was seen more positional disciplined in this half on that left hand side of the midfield. Whereas in the initial phases, just like first half, Zinchenko formed that double pivot with Rice and Arsenal insisted to overload this right hand side by White, Saka, Odegaard and Rice, and United nullify it through both Rashford and Anthony trackbacks consistently. And talking about Declan Rice, despite contributing in overloads up front, Rice operated more as a dynamic 6. What that means is, he is more than a number 6. Sometimes he is being supported by Zinchenko and sometimes being alone on that right hand side. But he was the one today that was sticking for Arsenal. And what more do you want from your 6 when he scores a late winner? A complete package of the midfield. But this was Arsenal. United too would have won the game. So let's take a look at their plan. So Ten Hag started same lineup with has one change of Victor Lindelof, and Ten Hag deployed Casemiro and Eriksen pivot. But it was much more than that. As Arsenal would shape in a 4-4-2 of the ball, United wanted their numerical superiority at the back. So sometimes we saw Casemiro dropping in between centre backs to make it 3v2, or sometimes Onana would make as a third centre back, and Arsenal would think twice to press United. And if both Casemiro and Onana weren't able to position themselves, then there was Eriksen, who would also split up both centre back and play in that hole. But this was the first phase of the possession. For the higher phase on the pitch, Ten Hag wanted to either stretch Arsenal 4-4-2 or make it compact to give Rashford the space. So he moved Dalot in the left half space position or left midfield so that Rashford can get into the 1v1 with Ben White. And time again, we saw Dalot doing this and Rashford getting that space. And in the second half too, United continued same strategy. But beside this, what excited me most was Højlund debut. And just how good he was today. His hold-up play was quite good. He has got a good speed to make those in-behind runs on counters, which United needed desperately. And if you look at United's disallowed goal, Højlund played a crucial role in build-up. So overall it was a great debut. But talking about United, it's a game of concentration till the last minute. And United didn't had it. Look at this, who is marking Rice here? Absolutely wasteful. For Arsenal, it's about doing some crucial changes, maybe benching Havertz and starting Vieira at left centre mid position. Because Arsenal position dynamics are completely off with Havertz at left centre mid position. Okay, he contributed a little bit with his movement, but what else? Rice is having to shoulder most of the build-up work, so Arteta should do something. And for United, I don't know what to say. They looked threatening on the counters and even they circulated ball well, but it's currently a mess at United right now. Look at this Sancho statement. The manner Ten Hag is throwing players under the bus in public is worrying, and I wonder what he wants to achieve from this. But anyways, what did you make of the game? And can Arsenal live that Premier League this season? Comment below.